Oh, we're back to an asymmetric. You know I like this. Yes, this is the 4141 GEGENPRESS ASYMÉTRIQUE. I don't know, there's really no other information about it. There's no screenshots, descriptions, videos, comments, or anything like that. So we are basically sitting on an asymmetric tactic. I cannot wait to see how it does with our three teams, because you know I love me some asymmetric tactics. Can Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and Ipswich Town in the Championship live up to the asymmetric hype? Let's find out. Well, Liverpool come in second place, 83 points, 83 goals. Seems to be a fairly standard affair for right now. Sixth place, Aston Villa. You've got, what, 83 goals and 71 points? So far, I mean, I will say it looks fairly average on the marks. We've seen these time and time again. So far, nothing out of the ordinary. Liverpool get to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, 1-1 in penalty loss, though, against Brentford. You get to the FA Cup final against Manchester City and just drop out 0-1. Jota sent off in the 45th +2. Joel Matip sent off in the 15th, and they only got one goal? That's impressive. Even though they lost, that is still impressive. And funny enough, they get to another final, the Europa League final against Feyenoord. 0-2, though, is where they drop out. No red cards here. It just wasn't a good game. So overall, a lot of runners up. Second place in the Premier League, second place in Europa League, second place in the FA Cup, quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. It had a lot of potential and then just didn't get far. I've seen that before. So squad-wise, they do have some green, just not as many as we usually see. 24 goals so for Salah, 23 for Nunez. Nunez hasn't really scored a bunch in a long time. Assist-wise, 17 for Salah. You got a couple of others in double digits, but average rating 7.42 for Mohamed Salah, though. Aston Villa, on the other hand, doing the complete opposite. Out immediately in the Carabao Cup third round against Tottenham, and then FA Cup fourth round against Birmingham. They do get to the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League, but out against Eintracht Frankfurt. A loss away from home, a draw at home, and unfortunately no finals this year. So overall, Aston Villa definitely doing a lot worse than Liverpool, and no trophies whatsoever. You do get to the semifinals of the Europa Conference League, but still not good enough. You had a lot of room to grow here, and unfortunately it just didn't look like it worked out all that well for you. Squad-wise, I can see 36 goals for Ollie Watkins, back up to his normal. That is fantastic. 19 for Diaby. Assist-wise, 14 for Leon Bailey, even though he is injured. How long is he out? 2 to 5 weeks. That's not bad. Average rating, though, Douglas Luiz with a 7.25. Data Hub for Liverpool. Got some attacking numbers. The goals just aren't there, though, for some reason, but non-penalty expected goals per 90 is nice. Goals per game, 2.18. Conceded, they're back down below 1 with a 0.71 and 0.85 expected goals against. Aston Villa poking up there a little bit in the goals per game, but still you'd hope for higher. But sixth place, they're not going to get that high. Goals per game, 2.18 as well, but conceded, that's where your problem is. 1.42, that is pretty high. Expected goals, 1.3 against. You know, that conceded, we've seen higher, but they definitely should be bringing that down to kind of get up in the table. Premier League stats, Liverpool with a 2.18 points per game, Aston Villa in 6th with a 1.87. But here's the stuff we always look for. Aston Villa in 1st with 83 goals, tied with Liverpool in 2nd, though, for 83. But fewer shots against Liverpool in 2nd with 262. Aston Villa all the way down in 7th with 385. Most possession, 59 to 57% there. Most dribbles made, Aston Villa with 645. Best pass completion, Liverpool in 3rd with 89, as does Aston Villa, even though they're all the way in 6th. And then most shots for it, Liverpool in 2nd with 557, Aston Villa in 7th with 479. But now, how did our championship side of Ipswich Town do? Pretty nice. 2nd place, automatically promoted to the Premier League next season. 97 points, only 2 points away from Norwich in 1st. You could probably get those 2 points, though, if you took control of this tactic yourself, did your own match changes, your own training, transfers, things like that. But overall, a 2nd place finish is pretty nice. 103 goals, too, topping the league. Somewhat standard affair, though, for the domestic cups. Carabao Cup 2nd round, out against Chelsea. What do you expect? And then out against Man City. Again, what do you expect in the FA Cup 4th round? So overall, domestic cups, not great. Whatever. You can bypass those. But 2nd place in the championship, getting promoted automatically. No need for playoffs. That's pretty good. Squad-wise, you see a couple of green there, but 16 goals for Chaplin. Hurst all the way down just with 7. Assists, 20 for Leif Davis. Very well done there, but average rating a 7.20 for Broadhead. Of course, with only 2 appearances off the bench, a 7.19 for Leif Davis. That's more like it. Well, for the championship stats, most points per game, you get 2.11 for Ipswich Town. Most goals in first with 103. Even through playoffs, they couldn't broach 100. But fewer shots against, all the way down at 8th with 391. Most possession, 57%. Most dribbles made in 4th with 803. Best pass completion in 8th with 89%. And then most shots for in 7th with 491. But now let us take a look at this tactic itself. A goalkeeper in defend is where we start. Fullbacks in support on the left and the right. Central defender sandwich in the middle and defend. A deep line playmaker in support with a box-to-box above them in support. And then an inside forward in attack on the right. A winger on the midfield line in support. A trequartista in attack on the left central side. And then a pressing forward in attack up front. Positive mentality, in possession, attacking with is fairly wide. Approach play is overlap on the left and the right. Play out of defense. Passing directness is shorter. Tempo is slightly lower. Low crosses and work the ball in the box. In transition, counter, press, counter, and roll it out. Out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a higher defensive line. Trigger press much more often. Prevent your goalkeeper distribution. Get stuck in and step up more. So let's recap, shall we? The three teams, they did okay. Ipswich Town in second place is a fantastic place for them to finish. This is definitely the shining moment for them. We've seen a lot of tactics where they've gotten higher points and things like that, but overall, it's definitely worked for Ipswich Town. If we look at Aston Villa and Liverpool come in second, fairly average. 83 points is nothing, to be sad about or anything to be angry about, but you'd really hope for a little bit more if you're trying to get a tactic that actually worked well for your team. Aston Villa the same, sixth place. It's not great table positioning, but 71 points is roughly around where they expect anyway. Not that if we tried this 10 different times, you could never get to the top, never get relegated, things like that. Things will always fluctuate, but at least you have the idea of how the tactic will run through the stats and everything like that. But that is it for me, Safi and FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.